The Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 and the Apple AirPods Pro are two fantastic pairs of earbuds. They both have active noise cancellation, great audio quality, and they tick a lot of boxes with features, from wireless charging to a small case. The list goes on and on. But which one's actually the better pair to buy? Now, I know right off the bat, some people might say, well, if you have an Android, get this one. If you have an iPhone, get that one. And while that might be a little bit true, it's also not really the point of this video. The point is to look at which one's a better pair of earbuds. For example, maybe somebody's trying to decide which ecosystem to join, or you just want to know in general which one's better. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. This is a classic case of Samsung versus Apple, where Samsung has many iterations, many SKUs, and Apple tends to be a little bit more minimal. They release one, and they make sure it's really good every couple years, but they only release it in like one color, for example. So let's start off with some of the basic differences. Of course, later in this video, we'll talk about the sound quality, the active noise cancellation, and of course the microphones. But starting off with what I kind of just mentioned right there, Samsung always has quite a few more SKUs, not just, within each product, but they also have many more iterations. So for example, since the Apple AirPods Pro came out, we have, I believe, 3 or 4 different Galaxy Buds that were released. And so the Galaxy Buds 2 are just the latest ones. The first fundamental difference is going to be the colors. Now you can see the AirPods Pro come in just white. The only color you can get, of course, you could get a skin or some kind of case for them to make them look different on the outside, but ultimately you're just getting white AirPods. Now, the Galaxy Buds already come in 4 different colors. The Galaxy Buds 2 are also a bit cheaper, selling at $150 at the time of release. Of course, I'll have a link below because, as you might know with Samsung, it's very common for these things to go on big sales. I wouldn't be surprised if around Black Friday, these drop from $150 down to something a lot closer to $100. Now, the Apple AirPods Pro, however, being almost 2 years old now, started off at $250, and now you might find them on some sales somewhere around $200 to $220. As far as the style goes with these, this one I'm gonna kind of leave up for vote with you guys. You can see both of them look very different. The Apple AirPods Pro, of course, have that sort of iconic stem. It's really culturally, people love the stem. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think it looks the best, but you guys can leave a comment below and let me know what you think of that, if this is something that you really like. Functionally, the stem is kind of nice to have because on there you do have a pinch control, which allows you to control the earbuds if your hands are wet or you have gloves on or any other possible situation where you might not want to use touch controls. Of course, it does also make it easy to put them in or take them out of your ears without worrying about touching, for example, a touch control. Now, on the flip side, the Galaxy Buds 2 have the advantage of being smaller. They're also lighter, and although they both have a very similar fit in your ears, both very secure, without the stem, you are going to have the touchpad on there, and it is a customizable touchpad, so you can tap once, twice, 3 times, tap and hold, or there's actually the other feature, uses the accelerometers to kind of flick the earbud, and that will change the volume. Now, as far as the overall comfort and fit goes, like I said, they both fit in your ears really similarly. They both, even though the Galaxy Buds might be a little bit lighter, they feel similar. They're both very secure, and so that one is kind of honestly a tie. Both of these cases have an LED indicator light. They both have wireless charging. The Galaxy Buds charge by USB Type-C, which I think is an advantage, while the AirPods charge with a Lightning port, which I think is a slight disadvantage, being that it's just slightly less common of a cable, especially as more and more devices are adopting USB Type-C. The AirPods have a button for pairing, while the Galaxy Buds just pair when you open them. I don't really know which one's necessarily better with that. I kind of like having the button just in case things are going wrong and you're trying to pair with like a new phone, but it's connecting to a different one. The button just forces into pairing mode, and I think that's a nice feature to have. As far as the cases go, I love how the AirPods case is so slim. It fits in your pocket without any kind of profile or printing on the outside, and I really love that hinge. Very solid, very sturdy feeling, and it feels very deliberate when you open or close the AirPods. You also have that really nice, satisfying click. If you're somebody to fidget, that's a nice little bonus there. But I will say, I really do think I prefer the case of the Galaxy Buds Pro, being that they sit open on a table a little bit nicer than the AirPods, how they kind of have to sit diagonal like that. And on top of that, like I said, USB Type-C I think is an advantage here. A big advantage of the AirPods Pro is actually the water resistance rating. These have IPX4, while the Galaxy Buds are limited to just IPX2. So both of them are going to be okay if you're sweating, but realistically for water damage, you're gonna be much safer with the AirPods Pro. They both have a pretty similar battery life, where you're looking at about 4.5 to 5 hours with the AirPods and about 5 to 5.5 hours with the Galaxy Buds. And then when you include the case, you're looking at 20 hours with the Galaxy Buds, 24 hours with the AirPods. Honestly, you can pretty much chalk that up as being a tie, and that's really both considering when active noise cancellation is on. So overall, the physical designs are kind of a tie. There's trade-offs on either side, but now let's get into a microphone test. So this is what it sounds like with the Galaxy Buds 2 in an indoor environment. I'm in the studio right now, so there's really no white noise, no sound in here, no echo, and this is probably as good as these are going to sound. So leave a comment and let me know what you think of the Galaxy Buds 2. And now these are the Apple AirPods Pro. Both of these have a transparency mode, or as Samsung calls it, pass-through mode, so I can hear my own voice while I'm talking on the phone. But of course, now that you have so many Zoom meetings and calls and things like that, like having wireless earbuds with a good microphone is really important. So leave a comment and let me know between the two of these, which one sounds better indoors. But of course, you're not always indoors. Sometimes you're out on a sidewalk or anywhere in public where there's more ambient sound. So let's go outside and see what they sound like there. All right, so this is a test with the AirPods Pro next to a pretty busy road. There's really not a whole lot of wind out here, but there are a lot of loud bugs. And now these are the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2. Again, more traffic behind us, but let me know which one you can hear better. As far as active noise cancellation goes, it's easy to say these both have it and they both do a decent job, but when you're actually measuring them one-to-one, you're going to find a pretty significant difference. In my opinion, the Apple AirPods Pro are significantly better. They do a really good job of crushing the sound and making it a smooth, quiet experience when there's sound around you. Whether you're listening to music or not, you really block out a lot of sounds. So I'm actually going to get into a quick test here just to demonstrate the relative magnitude of the active noise cancellation. So to test the magnitude of the active noise cancellation, I played a sound through a speaker and I listened until I could hear it through the earbuds. Now with the AirPods Pro, it blocked it until volume 30. The Galaxy Buds, however, only blocked it until volume 25. And of course, sound quality is another really important difference between these earbuds. They both take a pretty different approach to what good sound quality should be, and they're both good in their own ways. So the AirPods Pros are a little bit more accurate, a little bit more true, but they are a little bit weaker in the bass. Whereas on the flip side, the Galaxy Buds 2 are a little bit more vibrant and lively and exciting with a boost on the bass as well as on the high ends. So getting into a little more detail with that, the AirPods Pros have a little bit of an emphasis around 1100 hertz or 1000 hertz, and they have really nice clarity on the higher end. They have good instrument separation, and they're really going to sound better for anybody listening to podcast or acoustic music or any music that's not really heavy on bass. I found that with whatever kind of EQ you try to do, you still can't really get a very powerful bass experience with these. But I mean, like I said, it is going to be a little bit more accurate. They're going to sound more true to life. The Galaxy Buds 2, on the other hand, as I mentioned, were a little bit more vibrant and lively. And so for consumers, it's probably going to sound better for a wider variety of genres, where you're going to get a little bit more lift on the bass. And the bass with these is actually very capable. The driver really delivers a really nice, smooth, clean bass that is both sharp and capable of hitting very, very low frequencies. It's not going to be the most seismic bass out there. If you're listening to harder rock or rap or anything like that, it is still going to be better. But if you're like a hardcore EDM fan and you want to blow your ears out, neither of these are really going to be the best one for that. With that being said, the Galaxy Buds 2 also have a really nice high end, but it is a little bit more sibilant. So if you're listening for instrument separation with cymbals and snare drums, it can get a little bit blurred right there. But otherwise, between the two of them, they both sound really good. I would just say if you're somebody that likes a little bit more bass, the Galaxy Buds are probably a better pick. In general, most consumers might lean that way, but if you're somebody looking for a little more details, especially in acoustic music, the AirPods really pull ahead there. The features on both these earbuds is where we get into some pretty interesting differences here. Of course, a lot of people overlook this because they think sound, ANC, and microphones are really all you care about. But when you're wearing these every day, features can make a big difference. These can be things like finding your earbuds or making it easier to control them, opening Spotify, things like that. And so getting into what these do, first of all, they both have a Find My Buds feature. As far as the controls go, like I said earlier, you are able to customize the controls on the Galaxy Buds 2, and they have some really nice features in there as well. So besides the usual controls that we're used to seeing, they also have some really nice things like the ability to touch and hold to open Spotify. So if you just put your earbuds in, your phone is in your backpack or your pocket, for example, you can just tap and hold and just automatically start playing your music. And another way to do it hands-free, of course, would be with a voice assistant, which is another fundamental difference here. On the Galaxy Buds 2, you do have Bixby, and you have a kind of native Bixby where you can summon it. And on the flip side, you have Siri on the AirPods, of course. But of course, if you're using some other assistant on your phone, say Google Assistant or Amazon, then you can actually program this to touch and hold to open that on the Galaxy Buds 2. So, that's an advantage, but ultimately, I think Siri probably has a slight edge over Bixby right now. probably a pretty big edge over Bixby, but Bixby is coming along. It's getting better. The Galaxy Buds also have some cool features in what they call labs, which is kind of like a beta mode essentially. And so one of them is a low latency for gaming. It's called gaming mode. And the other one is double tap the earbud edge, which uses the accelerometer as an extra function, an extra input essentially to change the volume. And I think that's a really nice feature to have. The AirPods do have adaptive EQ, and they also have audio sharing, so AirPods are in the Apple ecosystem. They're going to be much better, honestly. You can switch seamlessly between your Mac, your MacBook, your iPad, your phone. It doesn't really matter. It's very, very easy to do that. Samsung kind of does something similar-ish, but it's definitely not at the same level of smooth experience as you're getting with the AirPods. And another big thing that you actually do have on the AirPods is that spatial audio. Of course, not all music is capable of doing that right now. Not all movies do that, but some media is starting to adopt that kind of really cool feature on there. And that ties into the last difference here, which is compatibility. As a lot of people know, the AirPods are meant for Apple, the Samsung Galaxy Buds are really meant for Android, but a lot of people don't realize you can use either one with either platform. It just doesn't work as well. So if I use the AirPods on an Android phone, they work perfectly fine as a pair of earbuds. I can control music, I can do all types of things like that, but I don't have any access to settings, so I won't be able to customize them, I won't be able to call Siri, I won't do anything like that. And on the flip side, the Galaxy Buds 2 unfortunately don't have an app plugin available for the iPhone. In the past, the Galaxy Buds Plus, the Galaxy Buds Live did work on iPhone, but the Galaxy Buds 2 unfortunately do not. Now, you can still use them on an iPhone, of course, like I said, but you just don't have access to that app, which allows you to do all the extra customization, like enable gaming mode, enable the double tap to change the volume, like all types of stuff like that. But realistically, they do both work, so if you really like the fit or the style of one of them, you could do it that way. And while it's very easy to say, if you have an iPhone, get AirPods, if you have an Android, get the Galaxy Buds, some people might be trying to decide which one's better so you can figure out what the best next phone to get is. Maybe you look at the iPhone and you look at the Galaxy phones and you say, all right, I could go either way. Let's look at the other things in the ecosystem. And this is a fundamental one. You'll probably have this in your ears almost every day. And between the two of these, I would say, honestly, I probably lean a little bit more to the Galaxy Buds. Being a little bit cheaper, the sound is a little bit more fun, and while you definitely compromise on the active noise cancellation, I think the money saving you're getting there and the extra features kind of make it worth it. But you can leave a comment below and let me know which of these you like better, the AirPods or the Galaxy Buds. So that's been it. That's my take on the AirPods Pro versus the Galaxy Buds 2. Both very capable pairs of earbuds, but definitely very different as well. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. As always, I'm Mike O'Brien. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.